यहाँ पर ऑनलाइन लिंक को एक्सेस ना करें क्योंकि कई बार उससे आवाज की वजह से यहाँ कॉन्फ्रेंस के संचालन में व्यवधान उत्पन्न हो सकता है। पुनः अपने मोबाइल फोन कृपया स्विच ऑफ साइलेंट मोड पर रखें या स्विच ऑफ करें।
हेलो आया। Hi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the dignitaries on the dais and those connected with us online in India and abroad. Welcome you all to the 2 days National Conference on Child Sexual Abuse Material being organized by the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC India. This is part of the series of several such programs which the NHRC will be organizing throughout the year in different parts of the country in commemoration of the 75 years of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. बाल यौन शोषण सामग्री विषय पर राष्ट्रीय मानवाधिकार आयोग द्वारा आयोजित 2 दिन के राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में आप सभी का स्वागत है. We have among ourselves the gracious presence of Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister of Law and Justice as the chief guest, Honorable Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Justice Arun Mishra, Honorable members of the Commission, Dr. Gyanesha Manohar Mule and Mr. Rajiv Jain, and Secretary General Mr. Devendra Kumar Singh. Shubham karotu kalyanam, Shubham karotu kalyanam arogyam sukh sampadam, Mam buddhi prakasham, Chadip ज्योतिर नमोस्तुते. किसी भी आयोजन की शुरुआत दीप प्रज्वलन करके हमारी संस्कृति में परंपरा रही है. इसलिए may I request the Honorable Minister to light the ceremonial lamp to start the proceedings. Honorable Chairperson, members and Secretary General of the Commission are also requested to join the chief guest in the lighting of the lamp. दीप ज्योति शुभ करे, कल्याण करे, आरोग्य करे, सुख संपदा प्रदान करे, हमारी बुद्धि को प्रकाशित करे, दीप ज्योति रूपा भगवती को नमस्कार. May the light be auspicious for our well-being, health, wealth, happiness, and enlightenment. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Justice Arun Mishra, Honorable Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission, to welcome the chief guest, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister of Law and Justice, with a bouquet. Honorable Chairperson is also requested to present a memento to the chief guest. Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Devendra Kumar Singh, Secretary General, National Human Rights Commission, to deliver the welcome address.
Our esteemed Chief Guest, Sri Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Minister of Law and Justice, Honorable Chairperson of National Human Rights Commission, Justice Arun Mishra, Honorable Members of the Commission, Sri Rajiv Jain and Dr. D.M. Mule, Director General Investigation, Sri Manoj Yadav, and other colleagues in the Commission, Director General of Police from different states, and other delegates of the state government, senior officers from different ministries of the Government of India, experts in welfare and protection of women and children, technical experts of cyber security, representatives of civil society, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you. Namaste. It is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all the dignitaries and participants in this landmark National Conference on Child and Sexual Abuse Material. This conference has been organized by NHRC as a part of our continuous efforts to ensure the protection and promotion of human rights. At the outset, on behalf of Commission, I would like to express my warmest welcome to our esteemed Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Law and Justice, Sri Kiran Rijiju, for finding time for us and agreeing to deliver the inaugural speech. We are grateful to him, sir. Our heartiest welcome also to the Chairperson NHRC and other members of the Commission. I also extend my heartiest congratulations to all the dignitaries and participants present in this hall. We are deeply honored to have your presence for this conference, which indicates a deep commitment on your part for the growth of the humanity. The subject of this national conference is on child sexual abuse material. The subject is very sensitive and important. This subject is dealing with the human rights of children pertaining to their life, liberty, equality, and dignity. The objective of this conference is to have an open and constructive dialogue about the issue of production and distribution of material relating to CSAM, which is one of the most brutal form of sexual abuse faced by children and therefore extremely harsh deprivation of their human rights. All of us are aware that the term child pornography fails to describe the true nature of the material and undermines the seriousness of the abuse from the child's perspective. Therefore, a more victim-friendly term, CSAM, has been adopted. The figures released by the National Crime Records Bureau in its Crime in India report of 2021 indicates merely 969 cases which has been registered across country. There could be many cases relating to online transmission of such material which may be going unreported or unlisted in crime records. The advancement of technology has made online transmission of CSAM through dark web and other social media platforms a real global threat to the dignified way of evolving the human society. It has become a full-time business crime where huge money is exchanged using cryptocurrency and bitcoins. We hope that this conference would be able to discuss and identify challenges, associated with CSAM and suggest measures for effective handling of legal challenges, challenges relating to borderless world, and the role of enforcement agencies, other experts, detection agencies, and other investigation agencies. Once again, I welcome all of you to this event and we look forward to a highly enriching and educative session. Thank you.
May I now request Mr. Rajiv Jain, Honorable Member, National Human Rights Commission, to make the opening remarks. Sir.
Honorable Minister, sir, Honorable Chairperson, my brother member, Mr. Moole, Secretary General, Mr. D.K. Singh, senior colleagues of mine, not only in NHRC, but in other enforcement and other government organizations, cyber experts, legal experts, social workers in this field. I'm glad that we all made it to this very important topic, CSAM. Abhorrent and repulsive that it is, but it needs to be addressed. The idea spurred more recently during my interaction with German Stock, the Secretary General of Interpol, on October 21 at the National Police Martyrs Memorial, where he mentioned about what the Interpol is doing about it. The DG NCRB subsequently briefed me on that, and OP Singh told me that a new vertical has been opened on CSAM. But NHRC has dealt with this subject earlier. In 2020, NHRC had held a conference on precisely this subject, CSAM, which was attended by more than 100 participants, all stakeholders. And NHRC had also issued advisory to the union ministries. Subsequently, during COVID times also, NHRC issued 2 advisories on rights of children, including the exploitation on the cyber field. So while we have the legal and administrative structures in place, we need to recount the background. The most important international covenant in this respect is the UN Convention on the Rights of Child, which was adopted in November 1989. Prior to that, there had been some minor works in the sense there was a Geneva Declaration of Rights of Child in 1924. Subsequently, the UN General Assembly adopted the Declaration of Rights of Child in 1989. Then, of course, there were the ICCPR and ICECR in 1966. Now, after this Convention on Rights of Child, CRC, there has also been a follow-up optional protocol by the UN, which was adopted in 2002. In consonance, the have administrative structures in place. The recent amendments to the IT Act also mandate that the significant social media intermediaries have to take proactive measures to block CSAM content. The ISPs have been mandated that they should identify and block all those websites and web pages containing CSAM material which have been identified by the Internet Foundation of UK and Project Arachnid of the US. The intermediaries are also mandated to block Interpol's worst of list. In addition, there is a toll-free number, there's a national cybercrime reporting portal, and the NCRB has entered into a relationship with the NCMEC of the US, which provides it all tip lines, which are then forwarded to different state police cybercrime cells, which are supposed to investigate. So, despite having the administrative and the legal infrastructures in place, the problem still remains. So the issue here is what more can be done? What more can be done by each of the stakeholders? What more can be done by the ISPs? Can they rest content that they are conforming to whatever legal directions of the MeitY are there? Or they need to take some more proactive measures? What more can be done by other intermediaries, the content hosts? What more can be done by those who also host peer-to-peer encrypted communications, because that is the mode through which it is now being transmitted instead of closed websites. And what more can be done by the police, which receives tens of thousands of inputs, but the cases registered are less than 1,000 during 2021 as per NCRB figures. So the focus of this conference, and my request to all the stakeholders, is that the focus should be on what more can be done. What more can I do in this? Every stakeholder needs to recommend steps on what more can be done to prevent, to detect, and to prosecute the offenders of CSAM. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Justice Arun Mishra, Honorable Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission, to address the gathering. Sir.
Honorable Shri Kiran Rijiju, Minister for Law and Justice, my esteemed colleagues, Dr. Dhyaneshu Mule, Shri Rajiv Jain, Shri Devendra Kumar Singh, Secretary General of the Commission, other distinguished guests, domain experts, senior officers of the central and state government, and various law enforcement agencies, officers and officials of Commission, ladies, gentlemen, members and media, members of media. I first express my gratitude from my core of heart to the Honorable Minister Rijiju, who has spared his valuable time to this important, mind-boggling conference on the issue of utmost importance as it deals with the misabuse of the latest technology which we have invented for the use of the man. And it's very unfortunate to note that 96% of his being of internet space is the dark web. It's being misused. It has to be stopped. Particularly when we celebrate Universal Declaration of Human Rights is completing 75th year of the adoption on 10 December 2023. And we at the same time, we have entered in Amrit Kal of our independence. With the advent of technology, the internet has brought revolutionary changes, cannot be denied. It is a source of information about the functioning of the government and brings transparency in the functioning of the government. And at the same time, it is very useful in providing information to the marginalized people with respect to the availability of the resources, how to avail them and their schemes. And thereby, we prepare a database to indicate their rights, need and the rights. We have witnessed an exponential increase in the internet users in India. In 2020 only, we had the figure of 70 crores of the internet users. Cyberspace is being misused also at the same time to infringe civil and human rights, including individuals' privacy. Cyber security is the key to fighting cybercrime and preserving human rights. Digital forensic science is required to be given new shape, as it is an edifice of the criminal justice system to prevent the infringement and preserve and promote human rights. It strengthens the rule of law. Article 21 of the Constitution of India and Article 1 of the Declaration provides that said that human is entitled to dignified life. Cyberspace is unfortunately being used for trafficking of human for sex, slavery, it is involving women, children, tribal, vulnerable sections of society, drug smuggling, extortion, cyber terrorism is new form, and other organized crimes are also taking place, which are the challenges before the world. The rising trend of fraud cases in the e-commerce, cracking and hacking of the data for ransom, demand in cryptocurrency multiplies. Criminal groups are having annual turnover of $3 trillion, only next to the budget of USA and China. Ministry of Home Affairs National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal shows that India is emerging as one of the most vulnerable countries in today's world. Global studies indicate that India is third in the number of cyber threats detected and second in targeted attacks. Cyber crimes like CSAM is required to be dealt with effectively. For that, we require digital forensic development and know-how. We need to mount an urgent, dynamic, and add international response to meet this challenge. Augmenting the forensic infrastructure is called so that investigating agency and police can keep pace with the emerging challenges. Blocking malicious traffic is still a forensic challenge. The United States has developed Akatosh, a device for real-time forensic analysis, effective for tracking offenders. Such inventions are necessary to be broad-based. The internet can be used by criminals to commit crime, still it can be an ally in the fight against cyber criminals. Digital forensic help recover and restore data affected by the offenders. Establishing workstation for faster and complete digital evidence examination is required. It is essential to create cyber forensic software and hardware and original tools. The development of investigation kit and infrastructure is urgently needed. To check such crimes, there is need for more computerized forensic science laboratories and a center for excellence on information technology, security. At the same time, there is necessity for the education and training of investigation of officers, lawyers, and judges. Lastly, there is need to increase awareness and to provide information to the computer users. It is necessary to promote cyber ethics concerning cyberspace and internet alongside appropriate stringent legislation by the government to penalize and punish unlawful internet behavior and cyber crimes. Many countries have amended or enacted laws designed to deal with newer form of cyber crimes. Freedom of expression and information, Article 19 of the Constitution of India, is the same for cyberspace and social media as available to the media and individual in other modes. Internet is an excellent source of information, but at the same time, it is being used dangerously. Cyberspace is still an uncharted law territory, further compounded by cross-border jurisdiction. Its misuse must be stopped in order to ensure that it becomes useful for the human. Our cybercrime cell forensic science labs can create a culture of accountability and strike fear in the mind of violators that they would not be able to evade the consequences of their criminal acts. According to Crime Report in India 2021, Delhi, Karnataka, and Kerala recorded 160, 159, and 129 cases of CSAM. 689 persons were arrested for transmitting CSAM, of which 680 were men and 9 were women. A 2018 study by Interpol reveals that around 60% of the victims online CSAM were pre-pubescent children, including toddlers and infants, who were more likely to suffer violent forms of abuse. Methods of producing CSAM are not exclusive and may overlap. A multifaceted approach is required, considering the complex nature of the offense. Website disseminated and consumed CSAM. It is shared via emails, messages, chat rooms, and peer-to-peer networks. Users of the dark web can anonymously surf the web by masking their IP addresses. E2 EE services are provided by most communication web services, which makes it difficult for enforcement agency to trace contents shared online via various social media platforms. Child sexual abuse content is configured to self-destruct after a single view, destroying all digital evidence. File storage sites consisting of password-protected cyber lockers and image hosting sites allow users to upload files. CSAM is accessed without any need for storing the same in personal devices. Online CSAM is one of the worst forms of child abuse. It perpetuates the sexual abuse of new children and continued molestation of child victims, which has a severe psychological impact on the child and future of the nation itself. There are no territorial borders for fast evolving online CSAM. The online proliferation of CSAM is essential in realizing sustainable development goals. The answer to how to deal with evil menace of CSAM lies in effective enforcement of the existing laws relating to CSAM. Prevention, detection, investigation, prosecution of crimes relating to online CSAM is the primary responsibility of respective states and union territories. For the prevention of CSAM, ISP intermediaries have a pivotal role to play apart from detecting offenders. For addressing CSAM, IT Act 2000 Central Legislation Section 67B deals with the punishment. Section 67D C requires intermediaries to furnish information. Government of India notified Information Technology Rule 2021, which were further amended in 2022. Under the rules of 2021, Rules 3 and 4 relate to the due diligence of intermediary and social media intermediary. Respectively, Indian Computer Emergency Response Team may call for response from ISP intermediaries pertaining to cyber crimes. Under the rule, intermediaries shall, as soon as possible, but not more than 72 hours of receiving an order, provide information under its control, and within 24 hours of the receipt of the complaint by any individual, offensive material has to be removed from the site. We Protect Global Alliance was launched in 2020 after merging two initiatives of European Commissions and the United States Department of Justice, and currently include 98 countries, 53 companies, 9 international organizations, and 61 civil societies. In India, Operation Carbon was launched by CBI in November 2021, and it undertook searches about CCM across 14 states. CBI received inputs from Interpol unit in Singapore, and Operation Mega Chakra was launched in 2022. With a coordinated effort at both global and national level, and with the effort of all, I am confident that we will successfully make the digital world safe and secure for our children. Hence, we have to employ such technology that would filter out contents that include child sexual abuse material. Technocrats, ISP, intermediaries owe their duty towards the society. It is high time that all the stakeholders, including private bodies, rise from their vested interests and help us protect human rights. Let us make this occasion to spread awareness regarding child sexual abuse material to ensure safe and dignified childhood for our nation. And it is our duty to live up to the expectation of the Tagore, in which he wanted this great country to awake. In the fine morning, he wanted this country to awake. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister of Law and Justice, and the Chief Guest to deliver the inaugural address.
Mr. Justice Arun Mishra ji, the Honorable Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, Sri Rajiv Jain ji, the Honorable Member, Dr. Ganeshwar Mule ji, Honorable Member, Sri Devendra Kumar Singh ji, the Secretary General of the NHRC, all the senior officers from different agencies, from different states and UTs, the domain experts who have been invited here to attend this very important conference, other invited guests, the media friends. First of all, I must commend the efforts of the National Human Rights Commission for organizing this very timely and very relevant, a very critical subject, the child sexual abuse material. This national conference, I'm sure, will lead us to a situation where we will be completely aware of our duties, our responsibilities, as well as all necessary steps to be taken. There are lots of legal provisions, penal provisions, efforts are being done, but we have to go beyond that. As a society, it is not enough to put up a system to deal with the challenge, but we will have to go and look at how to prevent such things which are happening so rampantly in our society in the present time. For a society, for a nation, it is not a moment where you can celebrate your achievement if your children, the women, are not safe. I very well remember in 2018 when the Criminal Amendment Act was passed, and I happened to move that bill in the Parliament. I was the Minister of State for Home Affairs. And while deliberating the matter in the Parliament, I very well remember I said that no matter how much developed we are, but if our children, if our women are not safe, then we cannot claim any success. So we all have come together for a great purpose. I know the efficient team in the Human Rights Commission is doing wonderful job, but it is all of us where we need to work as a team. It is not only the efforts of the government or the organization or a few agencies, but the society as a whole, we will have to come together. I have worked closely with Rajiv Jain ji, Ganeshwar Mule ji in our previous official capacities. I've known them very well. We have a very efficient team in the commission, and with so much of stakeholders coming together and participating in this very critical seminar, I think we will expect a very concrete outcome of this 2 days seminar. We all know the violence against the children, especially the child sexual abuse. I feel, and it is for everybody, this is the most grave and disconcerting challenges. All the crimes are bad, but the crimes against child, this is something it's difficult to digest, that how can you commit crimes against children? We have to be extremely serious in our approach. It cannot be just treated as a crime. If we look at child abuse as a crime, then we will deal it as just ordinary crimes. If we look beyond and look at the mentality of the people, how this can happen, who are the people who commit crimes, who are there involved in the child abuse, especially the sexual abuse. So as a society, it is time that as India is emerging as a great nation, as a prosperous nation, as a powerful country, as a leading economy of the world, look at our society. our new generations, where we stand today. And I feel that the efforts of this commission, the present tenure, will lead us to certain things where government will also act more appropriately. A government has to be responsive to the need of the time. We should not be satisfied with the present act or rules being framed. We have to be very, very responsive to the call of the time. I can assure you that our government will do everything, whatever is required to be done. The production, distribution, and consumption of child sexual abuse material is one of the most serious forms of sexual abuse faced by the children. And it is consequently a grave violation of human rights of children that leaves a lasting psychological impact on the child, leading to further disruption of his or her development. To address this issue, as I mentioned, we have taken many steps. The Information Technology Act of 2000 provides a legal framework for addressing all types of prevailing cyber crimes reported in the country. The Act provides stringent punishment for publishing, transmitting, or viewing child sexual abuse material online. The Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021 also empower the users of intermediaries and make the social media platforms accountable for their safety. The rules require the intermediaries to adopt a robust grievance redressal mechanism, including time-bound disposal of grievances. In addition to that, you all are well aware of the provisions of the POCSO Act, and 2019 amendment in the POCSO Act has made things much more stringent, and the definition of the child pornography has been changed. It has been introduced, in fact. Further, the Act provides for stringent punishment for using children for pornographic purpose and prescribes punishment for storing or possessing pornographic material involving children for transmitting or propagating or displaying or distributing in any manner at any time except for the purpose of reporting or for use as evidence in the court. So these are there, and you all know about the fast track special court. Recently, I had written to all the Chief Justice of the High Court and the Chief Ministers that we need to do much on these fast track special courts. The heinous incidents of rape and gang rape incidents of minor girls below the age of 12 and similar crimes against women shook the conscience, which led to the change in various provisions. I will not go into the details of those provisions and the steps, but I must mention that personally, I am not very satisfied with the present performance of the different fast track courts. These are fast track special courts instituted in various parts of our country. That is why I had reiterated in the coming Chief Ministers and Chief Justices Conference, I will ensure that we will devote one of the sessions to devote our time on this, because I want the judiciary and the government must come together. We have to raise the level of our efforts. The fast track special court scheme, which is being looked after by my Department of Justice, it aims at effective implementation of CR, all the criminal laws, and especially the Criminal Amendment Act which passed in 2018. I have to ensure that whatever the legislative actions are taken must be taken down to the ground. Some of the states I don't want to name, particularly I have mentioned that we are not happy with the performance of those particular high courts and those state governments. The Chief Justice of those particular high courts and the chief ministers of those some of the states must do much more. So Based on the pendency of the cases in March 2018, a total of 1,023 fast-track special courts, including 389 exclusive POCSO courts, were earmarked by the Department of Justice to be implemented in 31 states and UTs for early disposal of cases related to rape and POCSO Act. Out of the 1,023 fast-track special courts with 389 exclusive POCSO courts to be set up under the scheme, 769 fast-track special courts, including 418 exclusive POCSO courts, have been so far set up in 28 states and UTs, which have disposed of more than 1,37,000 cases. This is a centrally sponsored scheme. It was initially started for 1 year in 2019. Now it has been extended, and further extension of the scheme is under the process. I will give my assurance that we will take it forward. For the overall effectiveness of these fast-track special courts and to enhance the disposal and conviction rate, states and their respective high courts need to ensure that the mandate timeline is very important under CRPC and POCSO Act are adhered to, and investigation agencies and forensic labs, as our chairperson has raised this issue, must be strengthened. We are not very well equipped. That is why the state government must come forward. Now, as I don't want to take much time because you will be deliberating intensely, seriously in details in your technical sessions, but well, I'm invited here. I would like to see that these kind of events are taken to the state level also. Finally, it is the state government who will have to take head on with these challenges. Central government and state government, we will have to work as a team. Judiciary is playing very critical role. We know there are certain judicial orders. The Honorable Supreme Court also had passed certain directions on this regard. And we will have to ensure that the judiciary and the executive must come together. The legislative intent is there, but intention alone means nothing. We will have to come together and ensure and make India not only a progressive society, but a safe society for our children and women. And I know we are today doing so many things. Honorable Prime Minister has made a very, very categorically, he has made his point clear in every cabinet meeting, in every government function. He ensures and he also tells all the departments to ensure that the children, the women are the priority for any government, and their safety has to reign supreme in the minds of policymakers. Now, I am today very happy to see so many senior officers have come from different states and agencies. So it is not only the government, state government, central government agencies, but the civil societies. The civil society must be involved. It is something the country as a whole must come together and fight off. It is a challenge before all of us. And I feel that India, as a democratic nation, we have means and mechanisms and potentials to deal with any situation, to deal with any challenges. And today I feel that we face so many challenges, but the sexual abuse against the children and the women must be a priority for not only the organizations and the government, but every citizen. I assure you, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable members, the team here, government will work hand in hand with you. And I also look forward to the outcome of this conference, all the recommendations, all the suggestions, whatever actionable points which will come forward from my side, from my ministry, from the government. I give my full assurance, not only for cooperation, but be part of the team to deal with this great menace which we are facing. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Gyaneshwar Manohar Mule Honorable Member, National Human Rights Commission, to deliver the vote of thanks.
नमस्कार। आज के हमारे मुख्य अतिथि भारत के विधि और न्याय मंत्री श्री किरण रिजिजू जी, हमारे राष्ट्रीय मानवाधिकार आयोग के माननीय अध्यक्ष श्री न्यायमूर्ति अरुण कुमार मिश्रा जी, मेरे सहयोगी सदस्य श्री और इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के मुख्य आयोजक श्री राजीव जैन जी, यहाँ उपस्थित पैनलिस्ट, एक्सपर्ट्स, सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, राष्ट्रीय मानवाधिकार आयोग के वरिष्ठ अधिकारी, कर्मचारी वर्ग, मीडिया कर्मी और विज्ञान भवन के सुरक्षा और अन्य अधिकारी, आप सबका मैं स्वागत भी करता हूं और यहाँ पर मैं मेरा आभार व्यक्त करने के लिए उपस्थित हूं। आज के हमारे जो मुख्य अतिथि थे, उनका भाषण मैं सोचता हूं कि वहीं पर अगर खत्म हो जाता है कार्यक्रम तो शायद इस अत्युच्च बिंदु पे हम इस उद्घाटन समारोह को खत्म करते हैं, लेकिन उनका हर वाक्य जो है वो कोटेबल कोट है। मैं सिर्फ 5 उसमें से वाक्य आपको दोबारा, ताकि आप जब जाएंगे यहाँ से तो आपके जहन में रहेंगे। उन्होंने कहा कि गो बियॉन्ड लीगल प्रोविजंस, ये अपील भी है और एक तरह से हम सब लोगों के लिए एक वर्किंग एजेंडा भी है। दूसरा, उन्होंने कहा कि चिल्ड्रन, विमेन आर नॉट सेफ and we cannot be a proud nation celebrating on this account. So this is a very remarkable and very important comment. तीसरा, उन्होंने कहा कि all crimes are bad, but especially crimes against children cannot be pardoned, cannot be excused at any cost. Lastly, उन्होंने कहा कि not satisfied with the current arrangements that we have, in the sense that we have to do more. And last but not the least, उन्होंने कहा कि स्टेट लेवल इवेंट्स जो है राष्ट्रीय मानवाधिकार आयोग आयोजित करे, और मैं उनको आश्वासन देता हूं हमारे अध्यक्ष महोदय और सदस्य महोदय की तरफ से कि हम जरूर इसका भी आयोजन राज्य स्तर पर करेंगे। उनका मैं बहुत आभारी हूं कि उन्होंने बहुत ही संक्षिप्त में इस पूरे कॉन्फ्रेंस को एक तरह से एक परिप्रेक्ष्य पर्सपेक्टिव दिया और हमारे पूरे दिन के लिए एक तरह से मार्गदर्शक रहेगा। हमारे अध्यक्ष महोदय जो है, ये हमारे ना सिर्फ अध्यक्ष महोदय है, हमारे मार्गदर्शक है, मित्र है और पथदर्शक भी है, फ्रेंड, फिलोसोफर एंड गाइड। और हर छोटी बात तक कॉन्फ्रेंस के आयोजन में उनका ध्यान रहता है। उन्होंने अपने भाषण में सही तरीके से वैश्विक स्तर पर आज की जो सीसैम की अवस्था है, कितनी दयनीय अवस्था है, और हमारे प्रयत्न जो है वो कितने अधूरे अपूरे हैं, उसके बारे में बहुत अच्छे से यहाँ पर बयान किया। मैं उनका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ। सदस्य श्री राजीव जैन साहब, इस पूरे आयोजन में उनकी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रही है। उन्होंने अपने भाषण में पूरी इसकी पूर्व पीठिका आपके सामने रखी है और मैं उनका बहुत आभारी हूं कि उन्होंने इसके लिए एक अपनी तरफ से लीड लिया और इसका आयोजन करने में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया। उसके अलावा आप सब लोग इस कार्य समारोह के लिए उपस्थित हुए, आपका मैं आभारी हूं। यहाँ पर हमारे पैनलिस्ट उपस्थित है, वे अलग अलग मंत्रालयों के अधिकारी आए हैं, उनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मीडिया कर्मी तो हमेशा हमारा साथ देते हैं, NHRC की तरफ से विशेष आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। जो अलग अलग हमारे सेशन है उसके जो चेयर्स है उनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। विशेषकर जो NHRC के अधिकारी थे, डायरेक्ट रूप से इसमें शामिल थे आयोजन में, उनका मैं विशेष आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, क्योंकि ये विषय वैसे कठिन है और इसका एक्सपर्टीज जो है इतना बिखरा हुआ है, सब लोगों को इकट्ठा करना काफी एक बड़ी जिम्मेदारी थी। उन्होंने बहुत खूबी से उसको निभाया है, मैं उनका आभारी हूँ। अंत में जिनका मैं उल्लेख नहीं कर रहा हूँ या करने में मेरी तरफ से चूक रही है, उन सब का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। और हमारे जो महासचिव जी है DK जैन साहब, उनके नेतृत्व में NHRC के पूरे अधिकारियों ने इतना बढ़िया कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया, उनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
Thank you, sir. There are 5 technical sessions for CSAM, including the inaugural and obligatory session, which will be addressed by Shri Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and IT and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. These all will be addressed by the panelists here in the auditorium, and as well as those who are connected online with us in India and abroad. And now we break for tea for 15 minutes before starting our first technical session. Thank you, sir.